Hello, it's me. It's Dwarven Mustache. Yeah, I sort of decided to do a bit. I did a community post a little bit ago, and I think I've put a couple of things on, like uh, in the pinned comments below a couple of my more recent videos. Yeah, I've had a couple of bits that have changed around a bit with life circumstances, and I thought I'd do a sort of a bit of an update sort of stuff. And yeah, it's. eh, Yeah, I think the short of it is that there's been sort of generally uh, quite a large accident when workmen had been working. I used to live in a block of flats, and workmen had been in the loft space, uh, and they'd sort of had an accident, and they had, well, yeah, flooded the whole block of flats. Uh, so the short of it is that a lot of that's still being investigated, but how that's affected me is that I have had to move out, uh, and yeah, it's that's basically the short of it. Uh, Thankfully, I'm safe enough, and I've got a roof over my head. But it was a bit sort of touch and go about trying to sort everything out, and I'm steadily trying to sort of still salvage a lot of my belongings from uh, a flat that is still, as far as I'm aware, very, very damp. Uh, but, things are still being investigated. Uh, the folks that I rent from are still, they've thankfully got a responsibility to sort of make sure that everyone is sort of safe and sound as long as they are their tenancy is uh, kept up with, which I am. So that's the short of it. I'm still sort of going through quite a lot of stuff, trying to sort of rescue a lot of stuff, but it does sort of mean that a lot of my wargaming stuff is in storage. But I think this is generally sort of an update with a lot of stuff. I've managed to bring some of my wargaming stuff with me, and which is a thing. So I've had a bit of a think because it's sort of yeah, it's yeah. I've had a bit of it's a couple of sort of things related to it. Is I'd sort of had quite a crisis of confidence with a lot of stuff. Uh, I think partly with the whole me even doing the channel to begin with, uh, I'd sort of been quite a shy sort of person beforehand. Uh, I'd had a few sort of I'd suffered with a bit of depression and stuff beforehand, and yeah, please don't get me wrong that it sort of I'm not looking for sympathy and stuff like that or anything like that. It's I do fully realise that there are quite a lot of people who sort of struggle with sort of coping with a lot of stuff, and it's that a lot of folks do sort of yeah, life can be very tough with we've got we've got a lot of news that we can very quickly access, and we hear of all the very dreadful things that happen all over the place, whether it's local to them or further afield. I'm not going to touch on any of the big news stuff that's happening around now because there always seems to be a big, fresh sort of thing that happens. So, but it's sort of, I do realise that a lot of people do find, you know, a lot of things quite tough, and the anxiety and depression and stuff like that can be quite ever present and stuff. But yeah, but I think part of the thing is that I'd found it quite difficult myself and stuff. But and one of the ways I'd managed to cope was with wargaming. And that's a good share on my channel and stuff. Share progress, and yeah, it's. I think I'd only ever sort of wanted the channel to be similar to sort of a diary sort of thing. It's my progress with painting up units and stuff, and what things I'd got excited about and had got for myself and stuff, and yeah, it's so. This sort of flood has been quite. It's been very tough, devastating to be honest, and I'm not necessarily wanting to get into too many details because a lot of it is still sort of ongoing still, and I'm sort of basically, embarrassingly, I'm now living out of a hotel room. Thankfully, it's paid for. Thankfully, a lot of it is, I'm still being fed and stuff like that. I've got electricity and stuff, and obviously, because I've got my camera going, and you can see electric light uh, shining on me and stuff like that. So, yeah. So this is mainly sort of an update with that, and there's been a couple of folks that in the community that have sort of opened up to, and there's some decent sort of hobbyist friends that I got, and I think I'd sort of better do a sort of a bit of a shout out. It's like a few of the guys on Blissful Badger, yeah, he's that being on their Discord's helped, and he's sort of been a yeah, he's there's the Blissful Badger channel and stuff, and I'd like to sort of say thanks to them and stuff, and because they'd sort of noticed it'd gone quiet for a week on their server and stuff, and asked after me and stuff, and but yeah, it's sort of been a bit of a crisis of confidence and stuff. But one of the things that actually sort of suggested was that I could try and do a series of like hobbying in with a reduced space, uh, and sort of trying to do stuff like basically hobbying in a reduced space, perhaps even like a travel hobby in packs and stuff like that, and for those that perhaps do travel a lot and that want like a small box of stuff or whatever. So that sort of thing and stuff. Might be useful for other people who, I don't know, I keep wanting getting the image of like travelling salesmen who perhaps rather enjoy this hobby and stuff, and wargaming and stuff, and would like to sort of but I've not really managed to organise anything fully around that sort of thing. But Yeah, so I'm currently sat at my hobby in space now and stuff, and thankfully uh, yeah, it's almost as large as a desk sort of stuff. Myself at the moment and stuff, but I've just sort of quickly set up a camera and thought I might sort of try and show some of the stuff I've managed to. I mean, straight off the bat, sort of rescue and stuff, and uh, some other. I'll still sort of hopefully sort of share a few projects and stuff I've been working on. Uh, I'll swing round and yeah, I'll manage to get some stuff and yeah, still trying to sort of yeah, yeah. It's been a bit of a tough period and stuff, but yeah, I think I'll show off the area and show off some of the immediate sort of things that I've managed to get and stuff. So here we go. Just sort of yeah, here we go. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, because not far off to yeah, you can sort of see the corner of a TV off there and stuff. So I'm on sort of like a big giant desk, and much further to the right, I've got sort of some other personal bits and bobs. But yeah, this is sort of mainly a crafting space, and managed to get oh yeah, some paint. Yeah, as the table's not exactly mine, it's having a cutting board's a better idea. I think with yeah, this is if you saw a lot of my videos over December, I had hoped to sort of start playing a load of this, and yeah, it's a it's sort of an Oak Quest well, it's Hero Quest, but by Oakbound Studios, and I had sort of hoped to sort of start playing a load of games of this, sort of several weeks ago, but yeah, it's not quite happened yet. Uh, so I managed to get a load of my tools, big box of paint. Yeah, so specifically with this, on foot, I think one of the more recent videos I managed to put up were the models that have for this, though from an advent calendar. I've got that off down to the actual yeah that got saved from the flood. It's just got all misty and stuff, so I can still trim it down a bit and stuff, but it has got all a bit warped and stuff. Yeah, but I've got a couple of few bits on the way as replacement sort of bits now. So I've got a Gobbo warband on the way to hopefully play with this, and one of their cave trolls, and I've got some of their ratmen repleting tartan. Yeah, I've got to somehow I've got to work out how to paint tartan now. So yeah, but so hopefully I should sort of be able to get some stuff with that. There's some other stuff I can access the rules because most of them were QR codes, and I've still got the base pack for the advent calendar with that, so I can get through that, and I can access. Yeah, and I managed to get some hopefully suitable gnomes. I saw some very nice sort of. Yeah, to be honest, I got those from Alternative Armies. They had some dwarf youths that looked quite, yes, youthful adventurers and stuff and that sort of thing. And they had some dwarf miners, dungeoneers, I think they were advertised as, and they had some dwarf barbarians that I'm going to paint up with, orange hair, and one of them's showing their bum, so in a barbaric sort of way and stuff. But yeah, so hopefully I'm going to be able to paint those up, and I'll paint. Yeah, I think because they're planning on doing Oakbound, are planning on doing it as a big job, proper job, a proper official set of rules as sort of and doing it as their first proper job box game, because they've done it as a war. They've got a lot of war game stuff where it's the actual box and stuff, and they're in storage, thankfully. Don't have them with me, which is a shame. But the actual rule books and stuff, yeah, they should be safe and stuff. I've got to, so yeah, that's another thing I could do is sort of getting, yeah, sort of a few videos of getting stuff out of storage and stuff. But let me have a look. Yeah, of course, there's some of the stuff just off to the down the side. Yeah, this guy's he was going to be yeah, he's from some of the old John Blanchard artwork. You need to touch him up and stuff, and get actually touch up the priming and get him painted. And yeah, managed to get the leaders for a dwarf army and stuff that I'm going to be doing. And Eggle, Thunderguts, and Steve Torsten there and stuff sorted. And I think this guy was from Gripping Beasts. And although he's not wielding Excalibur, he was going to be a not King Arthur model. And I managed to get, right, let's just see if I can, yeah, I can. On the previous channel, I managed to get, I managed to do an unboxing of some of these, but yeah, it's, but they're going to be a cavalry contingent, and I'm hoping to get a few of their late Roman armoured cavalry batches, and those will hopefully be, yeah, sort of like Arthurian knights and stuff. Because I'd sort of planned even sort of about a year or so ago, sort of doing like an Arthurian style late Roman army and stuff like that. And with the advent of, so here we go, try and keep the camera stabilised. With the advent of Midgard, yeah, quite like this, and there's a bit of a player base quite locally and stuff. So yeah, with this sort of doing a sort of late Roman Arthurian sort of style army, and yeah, it's I quite like the idea of doing a load of cavalry and stuff, getting probably a load of the late Roman cavalry. I've got a couple of bits of the, that's the only batch of infantry I got, but hopefully get a, yeah, do a few. I've got 3 more bags of that, but I think those are in storage. But hopefully getting a few batches of the Victrix late Roman armoured cavalry, and doing sort of, yeah, doing them as late Romans, Arthurian. Probably try and do like a lot of green, dark green sort of cloth work and stuff, and hopefully doing them as sort of, so they can also double up as sort of riders of Rohan and stuff. But yeah, I hope. But yeah, I'd been building up a sort of a Burgundian army, and I'm hoping some of the stuff from that got put into storage, but I managed to get the actual built models sorted out. And yeah, there's some of the armoured knights and the light cavalry from that, and yeah, and it's managed to get most of the box of that. And yeah, there'd been a Charles the Bold, but yeah, it's from Oakbound. They'd done the last Patreon. Managed to get, I know some of it's in storage, the not more time batch. I had to put them in storage, but most recent sort of stuff there. Yeah, there's some round bases in there, and those are some of them. But yeah, it's sort of, yeah, some of the, managed to get some of that done. Get those out, and it's just a sort of a case of painting them up. It's 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 sort of I managed to get, yeah, because I'd sort of had to do running repairs on these guys. I've sort of not really managed to sort of actually set to be able to concentrate on actually painting the guys up, so which is a shame. But yeah, it's sort of been able to sort of properly concentrate on doing them. But yeah, I hope so, because I'd been sort of planning on doing trying to get like a full company of these guys done, and so far I'd had I think because there's 100 knights in there with an equal number of light horses, equal number of musketeers and crossbowmen, pikemen as well. It's just I think I'd got probably I think if, that I know I have managed to managed to save about I think it's 2/5 of a lance. Well, sorry, 2/5 of about probably near a quarter of a company. All in all, there's about because there's 100 knights in a company, and I've managed to get 24 all in all between the box sets and stuff. But yeah, I managed to get there are bases in that box, and some of them are spelled out. One thing I'm pleased about, some of the history books down there. But yeah, I'm having to live out of bags a lot. But I managed to get these guys saved, which I'm very pleased about, because these were sort of special and stuff, and thus the box. And yeah, managed to get the art slip in there. There's a video of these up on the channel already. I think the Druid Warband. So, but yeah, I managed to get these guys saved and stuff. Yeah, I managed to get the rule books in storage and stuff. So yeah, I think a lot of them have gone into storage, which is good. It's just I don't know when I can get into storage to get them out, and it's just I don't really know. Yeah, I've not really got the space to sort of not necessarily got the space to sort a lot of it out and stuff. So yeah, I sort of had to move out in a bit of a rush, because they told me I'd been out. Yeah, it's of course they told me while I was at a wake, and they'd sort of yeah, which was great. So I had to cut that short. And then it's sort of 3 hours after it had actually happened, it's come home in the dark and try and find dry bags and stuff, and see what I could rescue for just overnight stuff. But yeah, but managed to get. I've got a few bits of BattleTech, and some of it I've managed to save, but yeah, I managed to. I've still got. I've got the rule book in another bag, but yeah, managed to get the actual sort of box set. There should be all the models for that in there, so I can get started with actually doing that and stuff. So, but let's have a look. I've got something. Here we go. Some of my old Hammer books and stuff up, and that's rule book for Flintlock. But yeah, that's the Siege book. Yeah, yeah, and the 4th ed rule book there. But yeah, a few other books and stuff. There should be others in storage, I'm quite sure. But yeah, they're sort of loose ones that I managed to sort of get out and stuff that are with me. And with these guys, once I've managed to paint them up, that should be a moderate sized sort of hopefully Bretonnian army, because I'd sort of hoped that Burgundians could double up as Bretonnians. That was the idea anyway. But yeah, And I'd sort of got it just before it all. I'd sort of got into a bit of not battle Gundams, so I managed to complete a couple of the kits, and better videos of them will probably come out soon. But yeah, yeah, I've got some basing material and stuff, but I've got some replacement bits on the way. Uh, yeah, uh, yeah, I've got some replacement stuff on the way. A lot of this, yeah, it's just trying to sort of catch up again and keep. Well, yeah, it's. I'm just sort of managed to get a couple of extra models. Yeah, it's an old Burrows and Badgers. I've not really filmed much about Burrows and Badgers. I sort of got into it ages ago, put it to one side. And I'm trying to remember what's in here. So this is also an unboxing video as well. It's, yeah, I think that's. Trying to guess what it is, but feeling it. Oh, that's one of me Fimir Knights and stuff. They're all in storage. I'm half expecting to have to do running repairs on them. I think an axe fell off one of the Jonkbird cavalry and stuff. So yeah, it's just sort of keeping up with everything and stuff. And yeah, I think what I'll yeah. So I've got the replacement stuff for this. I think it's Thunder Under Mount Silence. The official name of the game is going to be. And they can double up. I'm going to base them up on. I'm probably going to base them up on little square bases so they can fit on the tiles on the board. But yeah, it's still intend to try and go through, depending on how stuff actually goes and stuff, with keeping everything with painting stuff in a reduced sort of space. I'll yeah, it's should be able to do a fairly decent sort of go at painting stuff up a pretty normal sort of thing. It's just sort of lighting because, but yeah, but that's most of the stuff. And yeah, it's just sort of because I don't know, it's just sort of a bit sort of mental health sort of stuff, and whether I do stuff to do with sort of trying to keep up with mental health sort of stuff. And I don't necessarily want to be an advocate because I know everyone sort of, it's quite common and it's just sort of, but I don't know whether I'm not necessarily wanting it to be sort of like, you know, a mental health diary, but you know, whether I do sort of or become like, you know, I don't necessarily want it to be, yeah, because I know a lot of people sort of struggle and stuff, but yeah, I think that's quite a lot of the stuff that I've managed to get out and stuff at the moment. Yeah, and it's just sort of I'm not really wanting it to be like a woe is me sort of thing, but yeah, it's just a sort of yeah, it's a just sort of yeah, if you just sort of just a quick note that yeah, if you are sort of if folks are sort of struggling and stuff, there are organisations out there, and yeah, please visit your GP. They should have some very easily sort of accessible uh, things out there, and you know there'll be professionals being able to be professional with folks and stuff and that. So yeah, please have a word with your doctor, and they should be able to quite quickly send out a few links for things and stuff with that. So, but yeah, yeah, just sort of just keep yourselves safe, guys. Yeah. Bye, everyone.